Is Arcane the perfect show? I've never played League of Legends before, so when I heard of Arcane, I really had no expectations for it. I had seen some League gameplay, but it didn't look that fun to me, so I just never played it. I'd hope to see some cool animation and maybe some decent fight scenes, but when I finished the final episode and the credits started to roll, I had to ask myself, is Arcane the perfect show? When you first start watching Arcane, what jumps out at you is how magnificent the animation is. The animators must have worked painstakingly on this process. The show is set in this cool steampunk world that illustrates the differences between the two cities. You get the feel of this gritty, unpoliced, poverty-stricken undercity. And as soon as the characters start walking through and exploring their environment, you can feel how dangerous it is. You can feel how hopeless the citizens are. You compare that to Piltover, an affluent nation. The town's bright, lighthearted, and bustling. It's very energetic, and they're striving towards the future. Each frame is some of the most detailed animation I have ever seen. If you pause the show at any moment, you will have your own art piece. Each frame was a labor of love for these animators. You know, most video game adaptations think that all fans want is instant gratification. They think that fan service and seeing someone do their ultimate on screen will satisfy their audience. But that's just not enough. Video game fans play games for weeks, months, if not years. They spend hours upon hours playing with their favorite characters, and they want to see them represented well because they're emotionally attached. They're emotionally attached to what they look like, what their backstories are, how they develop as a character, and Arcane understands this. They don't just throw characters on screen blindly with no plan for character development. All of the characters have depth. All of the characters have meaning. It's not just to meet a character quota. It's a scientist who sees his morality and wants to be remembered through his work. A sister who just wants to be loved. A leader who knows the true loss of war. A man willing to cast aside his people and his morals for the sake of power until he meets someone that he just can't give up. Arcane is more than just a story. Arcane is a lesson that we don't just walk through life. We struggle through life. A lesson that people aren't just born good or evil. Sometimes it's circumstances. Sometimes it's the betrayal of someone you trust or the abandonment by someone you love that pushes you into the darkness. One of the best things Arcane does is make memorable moments. There's a scene with a character named Victor. He's a scientist who just wants to do good in the world. He just wants his creations to help the citizens of Piltover and the other city progress and be prosperous. But he loses sight of this and starts dabbling into some very dangerous areas that cause the death of someone that he cares for. As he talks to his partner Chase, he utters a line. He says, "In our pursuit to do great, we forgot to do good." And it's moments like that that really humanize these characters. They show that they're not all good or all bad. They show that they're not perfect, that they're still working on themselves, that who they are now is not a finished product, that they need to continue developing. With all of this in the background, the studio still does a great job of presenting the action. The action sequences in Arcane are some of the most pristine, amazing, visceral action sequences I have ever seen. Everything is high octane and high stakes. They illustrate this in the beginning of the show. They are not afraid to kill off characters that you thought were mainstays and progress with the story. And all of the action in Arcane isn't just thrown in. They all have a purpose. They all help develop the story. They all show the emotion that these characters are going through. They show how difficult it is to deal with change, how difficult it is to fight a friend, and how difficult it is to go against the system. All of the action in Arcane is impactful, and they set the tone for the show. All in all, Arcane is one of the best animations I have ever seen. and I for one am excited for season 2. Let me know what you guys thought of the show. I can't wait for them to keep going. Talk to you guys later.